On this episode of Reels Talk, we will be reviewing the first season of Last of Us, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, Amazing Amanda here with my co-host Uncanny Omar.
I can talk now. How's it going, everybody?
He can. And today we are going to be doing a season 1 review of The Last of Us, since we just recently saw the finale.
With spoilers.
With spoilers, yes.
So if you haven't seen it or played the game, maybe come back later afterwards, because we don't want to spoil it for anybody. But in case you play the game and have watched the season, by all means, let us know what you think of the season.
Exactly.
All right. So you had never played the game. I love the game. It's like one of the top 10 favorite games of all time. I platinumed that sucker, and I played the remake. I could not wait for the sequel. And then we got this show, right? And the show, I was like, okay, well, they've never done video game shows or movies, right?
That were good? No.
Well, exactly. And I was like, I don't care. Sure, I'll watch it. Pedro Pascal. You were getting more excited and more excited. You're like, the young actress from Game of Thrones is going to be in it, Pedro Pascal. And I'm like, I just don't care. Then you mentioned something that made me care a little bit.
What was that?
A year or so ago, you mentioned that it was the showrunners that did the miniseries on HBO. Chernobyl? Chernobyl.
That's right.
Chernobyl,
exactly right. Yeah.
So that got me really excited because that miniseries was outstanding.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah.
And I thought if they understood the subject matter, what this show is about, then this could work. And to me, it worked. So let's talk about the Last of Us. What is the Last of Us? Let me hear your
And so as you guys probably have known, we did already do a first episode review. We did a mid-season review as well. So this is like our final for season 1. But so as far as The Last of Us, besides, watching my husband play the video game a long time ago, he's actually replaying it now. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that much about it, right? I actually had thought they were zombies. I didn't realize it was cordyceps. So it was it was a whole and of course when you hear post-apocalyptic zombies, how many times have we seen a version of this story before?
A lot.
Walking Dead, that Z Nation. Shows. Yeah, exactly. So I came in a little bit apprehensive, except it does have a stellar cast. Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, both from Game of Thrones. A lot of the voice actors from the original video game playing parts in it. For example,
nice.
I don't remember the gentleman's name who played the original Joel, but he plays a character in this. And then also Ashley Johnson, who I've loved that actress for a long time, especially because I watch the Critical Role stuff, and she's in that. And Vox Machina.
She's from Growing Pains,
and she's from Growing Pains as well.
Growing Pains, yes. She was also in an Avengers movie.
And she's also in the Avengers movie, So I was getting increasingly excited. Of course, the showrunners, is it Craig Mazin, I think is his name, from Chernobyl.
Are you asking me?
Nope, I'm just asking myself.
Okay.
But that's fine. And so The Last of Us premiered not too long ago, and it took a little bit to get here, probably because of the pandemic. They announced it in March of 2020, didn't start filming until July of 2021. So it did take a little bit to get here, but we got the first season, and I have to say, overall, I have been very impressed by what I've seen. What's so interesting with The Last of Us is this is really a story about humanity. I know a lot of this zombie story is about humanity. They want to talk about humanity. But this one, how many times do we actually see the cordyceps monsters in this? Can you count? Like, there's episodes we may not see one at all.
I mean, one episode that they show up in and they play a big part in.
Yeah.
Which was episode 5, I think, or 6?
5.
Where the big husky.
Yeah, when they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
Indianapolis?
Sure. Wow, you remember where they were. So it's definitely a case of, the character of Joel losing his daughter, Sarah. She got shot when all this began, and then 20 years later, right?
20 years later, yeah.
He's put in charge of this character named Ellie, because she could be our salvation, cure, because she has been bitten by the fungus, and she has not turned. She's the only human that has not turned, so it is his job to take her pretty much from point A to B, and the journey is what the story is.
Yep.
And he's lost a daughter. She never really had a family. The only person she ever really cared for, you find out she had to kill. And I love that. I mean, it's hard not to go and compare it to the video game.
Yeah,
right? Especially when the video game is so important and you love it. And so to go back and keep comparing it, But I thought they did so I guess it's more of a question for you. Because I thought they did a good job trying to encompass everything that made the video game so powerful. Did you feel that connection between Joel and Ellie? Like, as somebody that had never played the game, because in the game you play them, right?
Yeah,
like
you are
play
them.
The characters.
And you go through these.
So you build a strong emotional bond because there are a lot of scenes where it's just both of them talking.
Yeah.
In this, it didn't really feel like there were a lot of scenes of just the two characters getting to know each other more and more, up until maybe like the last two episodes, or the last episode, really.
Yes.
But what about, like, for you that never played the game? Did it feel like, was there a natural progression to the characters, like, getting close to each other?
Yeah. I think at first I didn't feel that way. I think that after about episode 5, I really start to see that they were trying harder to really infuse that journey into their characters, especially after everything that happened with them in, Indianapolis, wherever they were.
You seem to be caught on that one.
I don't know why I thought it was in Indiana. I could be wrong.
You could be right.
Yeah. And where they're at after they have to watch Henry kill Sam, right? They have to go through all that. I think that was like a turning point for them in their particular journey as well. And I think that's where you really start to see progression. I mean, it's a testament probably to the actors as well. I bought into that journey for them, especially by the end of it, particularly for Joel, because he had to go through a lot of stuff. And that there's that very cathartic for Joel episode later on in the season, towards like one of the most penultimate episodes, where he's talking to Tommy, and he finally reaches Tommy's base, and they have to have their own discussion, because why did Tommy leave, and he started this whole family and all this stuff. And I think that was a big part, that played a big role for Joel to have this turning point in where he sees Ellie and protecting her as well.
Yeah, and I think what the show could have used, for me at least, is having more of them together.
Yes.
Because it seems like they focused on other things that were... Honestly, the best character development came out of the two characters from episode 3.
Oh, yep.
The side characters, right?
Yep.
And I thought if they had done a little more of that with Joel and Ellie, this show would have been perfect. And it's still,
Exactly.
I think it still did a really good job.
I think
the special effects were amazing.
Yes.
The makeup, the practical effects, my gosh. Just on the creatures and the way they looked, and the world, like even the last episode with the giraffe, because I mean that
was beautiful. Yeah,
the last episode really feels like the last part of the game.
Yeah,
when you get the little bit of the twist, right? And I thought that was well done. Like the giraffe, I'm like, and it's weird when you're looking at things, you're like, they used a giraffe. No, they didn't use a real giraffe.
No, they couldn't.
But you know what what do you mean they couldn't? Like, a giraffe's illegal to.
I don't know what the.
Somebody needs to tell
Jumanji. You know how PETA. Wait.
No, that was all CG too.
Those were CG too.
That was a bad compare. Okay, but I thought that was a really beautiful world. Like whenever she freaks out and she's like, "Hey, you need to look at this."
Yeah.
And they all look out there, and there's a bunch of giraffes. It gives you that like Jurassic Park John Williams score feeling. Of,
yes,
like,
it really did.
Because I mean, she's
never seen a giraffe in
right,
person,
and
like,
he
ever.
actually knows what it is. So
yeah,
and then that's where you get the big twist, right? Like where he takes him back to the people that have, wanted her.
The Fireflies, yeah.
And it turns out that all they wanted to do was just experiment on her and to get this thing out of her brain. And
Chemical messengers.
In order to do that, they gotta kill her. And when Joel finds out, man, he snaps and kills every single one of them.
I liked the way that was shot too. I really liked that part of because there was like this almost eerie, like it was quiet, right? Mm-hmm. And the way he just goes, and he's a badass. I mean, I guess 20 years you become a trained killer at some point, because he was a construction worker prior to that.
She's really good at it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very good edit. I loved that whole sequence.
Yeah, that was awesome. And it almost felt like playing the game a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the shots. Mm-hmm. He's just going through them and killing all these guys. And then, of course, when he rescues her, he tells her that the lie, right? And I think this is where, I guess that's what people were talking about when you said the ending is divisive.
Well, that's what the actors kept saying, but I thought maybe
because of the lie?
I think it's because of the lie, the way it turned out. At first I thought, oh, well, maybe because they're changing the ending and it wasn't going to be the way the video game ended, right? But that is the way the video game ended.
Well, no, the video game ended like that too, with the twist. Exactly. And him with her, and he's like, well, she's going with me. I can't leave her with these people. Yeah. They're going to come after her. So yeah, I can see why people are torn. Like, why did he even need to lie to her? He's been protecting her all this time.
Yeah.
Obviously, she knows there aren't good people. And it is that is a really good question as to why he would even have to lie to her. But I think in that way, it's to protect her too. And to keep her, I don't want to say keep her because she's not, but to kind of give her that childlike innocence that was already taken from her. Because if she knows that people are still after her and are trying to get at her and kill her, then, you know, the world's already crap to her with everything that's around them. And now, on top of that, they're like, oh, they just want my brain. I'm not special. Like, they just want this part of me, and they could just toss my body.
Well, see, I had a different reaction to that because the way she wanted, like, I think he by the end of this, he really just would have rather just turned around. But she was like, we'll go wherever you want to go. I need to see this through. I feel like if he had told her the truth, I think he would have thought she would have been upset because she may have accepted her fate. She doesn't, like, even, I kind of got the sense the way she was even playing that maybe she even had a feeling that it was going to take more. Because remember, we watched her try to use just her blood to heal Henry.
Yeah.
And that didn't work, right? And so she may even already have believed, like, this is the ending for me, but it's going to lead to something bigger and better. And if he had told her the truth, she would have been more upset with him. Because I think at the end of the day, him protecting her he wanted to protect her and save her from being killed, but it's a little selfish on his part because he had grown so attached to her. I think that's where I got out of it.
Okay, no, that's a really good point. But regardless, that's how the series ended.
Yeah.
And it just ends when
really quick,
because
right?
she asked the question. She's like, are you lying to me?
He goes, no.
No. And then you just get a shot of her face and it ends.
It's like, okay. Yeah, and then it was like ending. I was like, that is the strangest ending.
I dig it, though. I dig that because
but you dig that, but you're like, 1923 didn't seem like a season finale.
Oh, because there's Joel went on this journey and killed all them dudes, man.
Okay.
We can't spoil 1923.
No, we can't.
It's like, I'll be there someday.
I'll find you in Bozeman Mountain.
Like the whole season I've been waiting for Spencer. Come on. Anyway.
Anyhow.
Yeah, so let's see what else is there. The performance was, to me, every one of the people that they cast on the role were amazing. I mean, we had some people playing the same role, which is insane to think about. Like,
Marlene, right?
Yeah,
Marlene was the same, the voice actor and the
she got to play the character. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, Pascal and Bella
Ramsey,
phenomenal, both of them.
Yeah,
especially Bella in episode 8 with the preacher.
Yes.
That was leading the... I can't really call that dude a preacher.
No, he was not.
He preached something.
He was
but man, and they even made him creepier in this than they did in the video game. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They added a certain element that was creepy.
You should see me. I'm like, yo, do it. Keep going. Like, and make sure he's dead. And he did.
That dude was dead. And man, and that was beautiful. Like when she runs out and she's all kind of disoriented. She's got blood all over her face. And Joel just holds her and calls her baby girl, and I thought that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
this is a great show. Made me tear up a lot.
Exactly.
And that's what you want, right? If I played the game, at least to me, I played the game, loved it. I got emotionally attached to the characters.
Yes.
And the show did the exact same thing. It did its job to me, like as far as adaptation. And this is one of the closest, if not the closest to the source material I've ever seen for a video game. Yeah, maybe that's the key, right? Maybe instead of straying away, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, and it is, and you can see the shot for shot, like people do the comparisons online and stuff to show how quickly it is. But I think what really makes this is, yes, like in the video game, obviously you have the cutscenes, which a lot of the episodes are just the cutscenes, right? For the most part. But you don't have a lot of we're going to go battle, like, the cordyceps and all. Like, you don't have a lot of that where you see a lot of the monsters in other TV shows around this type of genre. The focal point in this one is just between two people in the relationship, right? And how it grows. And then other people's relationships. Because you have that, was it Bill and Frank? That amazing just one-shot episode of them. And you don't even see cordyceps in there. It's just these two men grow old together and argue about silly things, and then they eventually decide to say farewell at the same time. And you have those moments throughout this, I think, that makes this one stand out to me from any other post-apocalyptic zombie type show that's out there. Yeah, other shows have those same beats, but this one just did it in a different way that I really liked.
The characters were treated with respect.
Yes,
and
exactly.
The performances were
They didn't change
stellar.
characters in a bad way either.
Stellar. Well, I mean, usually that's what happens when if it's not HBO, it's I think almost
if it's not on network.
That used to be the tagline, right?
Yeah.
They seem to, hey, we're doing really well with this. Let's go ahead and spin this series off into 5 different other series and flesh these characters out more. But there's no more to the characters. Mm-hmm. I will say one more thing before we give our final score. I think this is a show that is perfect for people that would love to watch horror movies. But can't, right?
Yeah.
Which is the popularity of Walking Dead. Walking Dead is a show that isn't really scary, but people feel really, special.
Edgy.
Not edgy. Special that they can get to watch something scary. They can get to watch a horror show. And I think that's what makes these shows really stand out. And this is definitely one of those that I don't know. Did you get scared any, like, jump scares or anything get you? I can see you maybe jumping a couple of times.
Yeah, maybe a couple of times when some of, like, the cordyceps monsters would come out. But other than that, I didn't jump too many times. And I think that's good for me because I am one of those people who does get scared very easily.
Oh, yeah. That's an experience. Like, that's like a movie experience going to watch a horror movie with Amanda. Yes, she really gets into these things. Like, like these things are real, and they're gonna come and kill her.
It might be real. Yeah, no, and I did overall. The production quality alone. And I know it's HBO. Obviously, they have a lot of money. Look at Game of Thrones and look at House of the Dragon, but they really took their time with this one. And if it wasn't for the showrunner, the production, a lot of this stuff was on set too. It wasn't like they did a green screen. They were shooting out in the cold, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they did that practicality that we don't see a lot anymore, and I think it all really adds to it. And the acting was just phenomenal. Okay. And the music too. So.
Yeah, and a lot of the music, of course, borrowed from the game.
Of course,
So, what would you give this whole season out of 10? Season 1 out of 10.
All right. So overall, I think it's a solid first season.
It is.
I would give it a 9 out of 10. There might have been, it might have taken a little bit for the Ellie and Joel relationship to develop to what it was by the end of the season. And I remember, I think it was episode 3, somewhere around there, I was like, okay, this episode, or not 3, it was episode
5
4.
is the one that got a little boring for me. 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's
introduced it.
Yes.
And
that's where I kind of felt that it was 4, because 5 is where they had the big showdown, and they're trying to
even then, that wasn't until the later part of the.
Yes, exactly. So they had that little in between episode. So I can't give it this is the perfect season because that I did lose interest in episode 4. I was struggling there. So,
my biggest complaint is just I wish they had used. Besides what we talked about, the Joel and Ellie thing, I wish they had used more of the creatures. We had seen more of that.
That's a good point.
Because while it is what you said, it is about these two people surviving in this world, and the real monsters are, turns out, us that are trying to just use this little girl for her brain. There are still, it would have been nice to be reminded, oh, yeah, that's right, these things are out there to kill you too. It's not just people with guns and arrows and...
Yeah, they don't show up that often, do they?
No, they don't, and I wish that they had done a little more of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in every episode, but at least...
Yeah, and I do wonder, it's 20 years later, right? How many of them... I guess it is a fungi.
How much in control have we had them? I don't know.
Yeah, that's my biggest question, right?
Yeah. So, so for me, no, this is... 9 is exactly what I was going to give it. So, 9. Good job, man.
Yeah.
We agree on things. 9 out of 10.
Phenomenal.
It was a great... I think this will go hands down as one of the greatest HBO shows.
I would have said so,
and even people that have never played the game will be like, have you seen Last of Us? It's just one of those shows people will talk about.
Yes.
Now, let us know in the comments what you would give season 1.
As a whole.
And then if you played the game, how did you like it? Is it one of your favorites? When does season 2 start?
They don't have an exact date, but if
Damn it, HBO.
Yeah, so I mean, there's been obviously
it is coming, right?
Yeah, it's coming. They announced it pretty much after episode 2 had aired. They announced they had renewed it for a second season, and then there was a recent interview that Pedro Pascal did where he said that production could start as early as this spring, which Probably not today, right? Not, as we
It's not
speak.
spring yet, right?
It's not spring, no. Even though we had to move our clocks forward, it is not spring, unfortunately.
Okay.
Just no sleep. And so at the earliest, maybe January of 2025, which would be a good mark, right? So 2023, we don't see it in 2024. That's par for the course, because keep in mind, we're not going to see
that's when Game of Thrones comes back,
or House of the Dragon. Yeah, we won't see House of the Dragon this year, but we'll probably see him in 2024.
Good.
So you always have every year, and granted now they're only 8 episodes or 9 episodes a piece, these shows. So that's only out of 365 days, 52 weeks, only 9 weeks of that content. But it's still better than nothing, in my opinion.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Sometimes there's such a thing as too many good things coming out at
Marvel.
once. Okay, well, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that.
Not doing that today. If you want to hear any of that, join us on our weekly live streams at 8 o'clock every
on Wednesday. That's right, yeah.
We usually review movies. This time around, we're going to be doing a fantasy-based movie in the 80s.
Because it's Omar's birthday month still.
Yeah, still.
So catch us back on Wednesday. We're going to be doing that review of a fantasy movie.
Probably Conan. Looks like Conan's
we put a poll up on the YouTube community channel, so get on the community channel and vote if you haven't already, but do so at least by tomorrow so I have time to watch whatever it is that,
awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at nearmintcon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop for some great near mint condition merchandise. And also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us on everything that we do here. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Good journey, everyone. And we will see you all soon.
Bye. That is correct, yes.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Yes. Really? You ready?
I don't know. Why are you excited? Okay. Okay. Why?
Because that's what I do.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, I use my hands too, just not the same way.
I know.
On this episode of Reels Talk, we'll be reviewing the season. We'll be reviewing the season, mm-hmm. the first season.
Are you just forgetting basic words
now? I'm just how I'm going to frame it. Okay,
got it.
I'm ready?
Mm-hmm. Don't listen to half the things you say.
I know you don't, because I see you he's drifted off. And he's like, okay, yeah. And I was like, he didn't even know what my point was. I was trying to think.
No. I listen to you. Is
this filming right now?
Yes. Doesn't go away.
Never goes away. Never. Even though his birthday's in 2 days and then it's done.
1 day.
1 day?
Fake friend.
Well, yes. Okay, 2 days we count today, but that's fine.
And tomorrow is the 14th.
Oh, is it? Oh, shit, it is. Yeah. I thought it was Wednesday.
What the hell did that I'll do?
I thought it was either, did I?
We just lost 1 hour of sleep, and all of a sudden you're just, okay.
Okay.
You know what? No.
Yeah, right. I did write the 13th on some of my stuff today. Anyways, yeah.
Named Bella. Nope. That's the actress.
Ellie.
Edit that. Okay. Okay. And he's put in chart. Stop it! Now I gotta cut it. Now I can't cut it if you're laughing.
I'm not laughing.
You. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Sign us off, Amanda.
All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, because that's what I always do.
I'm sorry. I think
it is a thing. Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember to follow us on all of our social media.
Yeah. Remember, everybody.
Okay. All right. Ready? Remember me.